Savannah. Oh, what's up? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on your program.
It's my honor. I know you're based in Jamaica right now, so how's the whole quarantine situation been for you?
Honestly, it's been a very creative time. And unfortunately, our government did get ahead of everything. So we've managed to keep the death toll to 10 people. And also, social distancing and putting all those policies in place. So we've been managing it, fairly decently, actually. But for me personally, it's been a very creative time, very tough time on my psyche. But overall, I think, you know, a good necessary test, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, speaking of being creative, you have a creative project that's actually coming out. You have your second EP called Be Somebody that's coming out. So, how do you feel that this record has developed from your prior EP?
Tremendously. I've learned so much over these past 5 years, and I've basically just put all of that into this EP. I was very instrumental in just how everything sounded in the end product, as far as just what sounds were used and how the mixes were and what sounds were, emphasized. And then also, I played a huge part in the visuals for everything. So like the creative direction for everything, and I was just really in control. Yeah.
Did you have probably the same control from your last project, or did you like have more control in this project compared to your last one?
Oh, I have more control than this one for sure, guaranteed. Yeah.
Well, and I saw on your Instagram that you posted that the cover art for this EP is pretty special to you. So, what is so significant about the cover art?
Well, I feel like it's important to be yourself. And the EPB somebody for me is just literally me embracing every expressive, creative function of me, of Savannah. And yeah, I kind of use the art category classicism, which is, it's usually you see a lot of, light skinned white persons occupying that space. So I kind of always wanted to, I don't know, insert myself into that space and celebrate who I am in that space. In a way, as a statement to say that I'll be celebrating myself in every space, regardless of what people think and how they feel. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like the photo. You're laying down, and I guess someone's holding your hair back, like a long strand of your
Yeah,
hair.
they're holding my hair. Yeah. It's meant to signify just, everybody that has something to say as far as like, oh, you should be doing this, or we really feel like this is your lane, or you know what? Do more songs like Bit Too Shy. That's it. You know what I mean? Or just even things that get a little bit more dark than that, as far as like launching, like, comments against me for how I speak or how I look, my skin color, and everything like that. And me just kind of daring to pursue my goals all the same and pursue my dreams in the way that I want to,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, that's what the hands are there for. It was actually my brother's hands. He was on set that day, and I was like, "You hold my hair," and he did it. So
Well, on this record, and I mean your prior music, you've worked with or you're working with Indignation Collective for this album. So, how do you think your music is different from the other artists that are part of that group?
I just think you have to listen.
Hmm.
I think it'll be obvious when you listen to it. I couldn't really describe it to you. You just have to listen because
Okay.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you've been working with Protege on this record. So, what do you feel is the best advice that he's given to you to help you throughout your musical career?
I think honestly it's nothing that he's really said so much as what he's done. I
Mhm.
think he's led by example as far as like keeping he kept going despite the odds,
Mhm.
right? He just kept pursuing music because he believed in it so much. Um, yeah, he just kept pursuing it, and that for me, just it's that speaks volumes for me, right? Because
Yeah.
it took him a while to get his first big single, and then another while to get different goals ticked off the list as far as like the career in
Mhm.
his career in music, and yeah, that for me was just it's incredibly inspirational to watch and be a part of, and to just see him pour all of himself into a thing, and it's you can only hope to emulate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you recently came out with the music video, so If You Only Knew, which is I love the song. It's a beautiful song, and not only it's in a beautiful song, but it's an amazing music video that you filmed in Senegal. So what made you want to film there?
So I ended up in Senegal last year, December, because I was working on a project.
Mhm,
I was meant to be a assistant director on the final film in a series called The Just and the Blind, which was exploring in that film, how racism shows up in an African country,
mhm,
right? Previous films explored it for America and then also the diaspora because the other one was filmed in Jamaica. Long story short, though, I had some time at the end of that trip and I was listening to If You Only Knew on repeat. And then the director who was there with me, Yoram, he was just like, why don't we do a video? So
yeah.
I was just like, yeah, I could do a video. And then just end up doing a video, bought the headscarves in a market in Senegal, and yeah, we just wrote a rough storyboard and shot it. Yeah. The water scenes that you see in the video though are shot in Jamaica, so
Oh,
it's a
okay.
bit of most Senegal and then 10%
Oh,
Jamaica.
okay. Nice. Yeah, it's an amazing video and I love it. And I mean, I love the song. I have the, I mean, you mentioned you have the song on repeat. And funny thing is, I have it on repeat like all day, every day, especially when I'm at the beach. I listen to it all day. And I know you write your own music. And since this is pretty like your lead single right now, so what made you want to write that song?
I was in love. I was in love, and we were long distance, and I kind of just wanted to write a song reassuring him, without really saying those words to him. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
just kind of just my feelings at the time. I'll go far for you because I had to travel miles. I had to take a plane. But yeah. So I mean, the song did evolve in its meaning, though. Having shot it in Africa and being in that space and seeing people around me all the time that looked exactly like me,
Hmm.
and then understanding the history of Senegal and how that connects to the Caribbean and Jamaica, where I'm from, it definitely, leveled up the meaning for me as far as like the reach of Black love, you
Yeah.
know? So there's different layers for it for me. But yeah, the intent, like the initial intent was, yeah, I'm writing this for this person I'm in love with.
You know, it's a perfect song for this time, especially since a lot of people are doing social distancing, especially from their loved ones. So I think that's a perfect song for them to listen to when they're thinking about their loved ones that they can't really see in person or really hesitant from seeing in person.
Yeah, this is true.
I've listened to other interviews that you've done, and I've heard you mention before, I mean, throughout your musical career, that you took a number of breaks, especially long breaks that maybe were, months apart. So, what really helped you push yourself to getting into music and just pursuing it back again?
Um, I just never been able to. Honestly, music is really healing for me. You
Hmm.
know, um, and it's helped me through those times where I've been tested, whether it be family issues or just my own personal BS that I have going on. I just when I write it, like that's therapy because I usually am writing my feelings.
Yeah.
I've been able to listen to it and feel better, or cry to a song and feel better, as a lot of people are. Dancing to it. It's been my saving grace in a lot of ways. So I couldn't really ever escape it. So me me taking a break probably just means me not putting out music, but it still means me writing songs. Because every song that you'll hear on this EP is a reflection of that, of me when I left an abusive relationship, me when I was in love, me when I was reflecting on, how God has blessed me. So yeah, all of those songs were written in those times where I wasn't necessarily on the scene, you know?
So, what do you feel is the most healing part about music? Is it the writing, just listening to it, maybe going to shows?
Huh, man, I don't know. I think it's very closely tied with the writing itself, but then also how something feels, right?
Hmm.
Because I listen to a lot of like Portuguese music and Spanish music, right?
Okay.
And a lot of the times I don't understand what they're saying. I understand a few words, but a lot of times I don't understand what they're saying. But just because of how it's emoted, you kind of understand, and that
Yeah.
in itself
Yeah.
healing. So it'd have to be the frequency of the music and writing for me.
You mentioned listening to Portuguese and Spanish music, so what artists do you listen to really help you get into music?
I know that she's very mainstream right now, but I love Rosalia, and also Sarah Tavares. I know that she's a little bit older, but I've listened to her for years. So those are my two main ones. I listen to other people, but those are my two main ones right
Okay.
now. Of course, Jay Collin and all the rest of them.
Are there other musical genres that you really like listening to as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really into black hip hop music right now.
Mhm.
So Megan the Stallion, um, Rico Nasty, Flo Millie right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really into it. Sweetie. Yeah, I like really aggressive rap music right now.
Oh, really?
Also, I love jazz.
Mhm.
Um, Dancehall has always been a staple, but I'm like more on the older spectrum of dancehall, but big up Skilly Bang too. Um, Soul music has never gone anywhere. It's always going to be there for me.
Yeah,
But yeah, all of that.
cool. So besides music, I mean, you mentioned that you play other roles and you're also an actress and have been you mentioned being an assistant director. So out of all the roles you played, which one do you think is the most challenging?
I think acting is the most challenging because you have to give yourself over to like the character and what they want to do versus how you would react to a thing. I think
Mhm.
music is instinctive for me, like every part of it. I kind of just know how I want it to be. The business part of it, though, very rough. So if we're talking about difficulty, then that part is very rough.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, music is the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's also instinctive, like the creating of it. So I couldn't say it's hard. It's weird. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, acting is challenging because you have to give over yourself to the reactions of a character that isn't
Yeah.
you. But it's also kind of freeing, liberating to not be yourself for a while.
Since you had a little bit of a directing role for your prior music video, do you see yourself maybe doing more directing roles in future music videos that you'll be doing?
Absolutely, that's the goal for sure. I want to direct other people's music videos too.
Okay. Any
Yeah.
artists out there that you really want to direct a video for?
I'd like to direct a video for Billy J, also Leela, also Chronic if you'll have me, Jada Kingdom, Jazz if she'll have me, um, SZA, Vince Staples, a lot of people. I see them and I kind of just want to like throw them in something else,
Yeah.
in another kind of imagery than what they're, than what they explore right now. But yeah.
When you hear songs, do you like already have a vision? Like, I could already plan a music video for this.
Yeah, absolutely. From the very start, I remember "A Bit Too Shy," which was my first single, and when I wrote it, immediately the imagery of "Their Eyes Were Watching God," that film that was executive produced by Oprah Winfrey,
Hmm.
like that jumped into my mind, and then I had written the treatment back then to pull some scenes from that to like put it have "Bit Too Shy" tell that story,
Yeah,
because there were moments where she was shy, and I just wanted to do that. But anyway, yeah, it happens. I get imagery in my mind all the time,
yeah,
and I'm constantly looking for different styles and different aesthetics and just cool, provocative things to inject into you know my music and
yeah.
the look of it. Yeah.
And I know that you're a musician full time, but if you were to pursue acting as a full time role for you, what would be the dream role for you to play?
Probably like a psychopath or a sociopath, somebody who
Psychopath.
is completely unfeeling just because I feel so much.
Yeah,
That'd be a very difficult challenge for me to kind of just put myself in that role and maybe do a lot of evil things in
evil
the film.
things like Saw, like the movie Saw series.
Not like that.
Evil.
Not physically hurting people, but like psychologically, like
Oh,
you know,
mentally, huh? Even
yeah,
worse. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It would be the is there a director like, "Oh, I would love to work with that director," and
Oh man. Um, I don't know. I don't know.
someone that could really fit
Maybe,
your
maybe
vision?
I would direct it. I don't know. Maybe I would direct it,
Or
or
you
maybe I
yeah,
would collaborate with it, or maybe it'd be a Jamaican director that I collaborate with. You know, like
yeah, yeah.
Storm or Nile or somebody from here, because I feel like Jamaicans see things in a very special way.
Hmm,
You know,
yeah. Since this whole quarantine, have you been catching up on movies, TV series, or anything like that?
I've been trying, but it's been busy. It's been a lot of studio work. There's been a lot of self work, um, and just a lot of running up and down and having to be creative. You know, showing up for friends and family. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I have been watching. What have I been watching? I've been watching Good Girls. I think that's a good little series. It's really funny. What else? I just started Peaky Blinders.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
It's really just the first episode. What else? I've been watching a lot of like light older comedies, like Easy A.
Well, and I heard in a previous interview that you're actually a Game of Thrones fan, but at the time you didn't see the last episode, so were you able to
I
catch
did
up?
not watch the last episode. I didn't. I heard it was disappointing, and I didn't want to be disappointed. So I didn't watch the last. I didn't watch the last two episodes. I think
Is there a family that you're supportive of
absolutely the Starks.
the Starks?
The, the Starks. Yes, absolutely.
Who's your favorite Stark?
My favorite Stark is Jon Snow. I like him a lot,
Johnson. It's
even though
everyone's
he ended
favorite.
up on. I don't know. I just it was so weird. It got really incestual in the end. My God.
Well, we're at a recurring segment in this podcast called Name Your Bio. So, if you could have an autobiography about your life, what would it be called and why?
I don't know what this would be titled, but something with resilience in it, just because I feel like that explains that I could sum myself up in that word. I'm
Mm,
resilient. You know,
mm.
I really truly feel like I'm unstoppable. So, okay, actually, that's a good word, unstoppable.
Unstoppable, yeah.
That's what it
That's a
be called.
resilient word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it'd just be my life because my life story is unbelievable. You just would never believe just all of the things that I've gone through and overcome.
Are you
Yeah.
able to maybe describe that in a sentence or two?
Woo! Ah, man. I don't know. My beginnings were very high impact, and just up to today's date, it just continues to kick the out of me.
Yeah.
And I've just been pressing on, you know. So
I can't wait to read that book.
yeah,
So,
I'm going to write it for sure.
yeah. Before we wrap, is there anything you want to share with our listeners?
Oh yes, for sure. My EP Be Somebody drops July 31st. You can pre-save it right now. Click the link in my bio. Pre-save it on Spotify or Apple Music. It's 6 brand new songs. It's my best music I've ever made. I'm in love with the whole project. I literally listen to it all the time, and very excited for it. Follow me along the journey on social media. Search Sevana, Sevana. Call me Sevana, and yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Awesome. And all the links to your socials will be in the episode notes. But for our listeners, definitely catch that EP. I was honored enough to get a chance to listen to it. And, you know,
What did you think?
oh, it's amazing. And I mean, I love, and I don't really say this much about songs, but I love If You Only Knew. Like, that's a song that I can say that I'm in love with that song.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And that's again, that's something I don't say about, and I listen to a lot of music, and that's the only song I can say, wow, I am in love with this song.
Yay! Okay, great. Amazing.
But no,
That's
But I mean, I appreciate it, and it's an honor to talk to you, and just to listen to your music. I think our listeners will fall in love with your music and fall in love with everything that you do, and will definitely follow you. But it's been a pleasure, and I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But thank you so much for joining us in Irie Chat, and best of luck on everything.
Thank you. You too. Big up yourself, Joel. Thank you for
Thanks.
having me.